to welcome all of those who have joined us together, to unite us together in the presence of God. This will be a special service focused on healing. Our church has been closed for 4 months now in this very unusual time. But in spite of this, our healing team continue to meet virtually to channel all the healing energies of Spirit to all those in need and have requested healing. We welcome the knowing that as restrictions are lifted, our church is reopening next Sunday, the 26th of July at 6:30, but under very strict government guidelines. And at the moment we're still unable to practice our healing on a Thursday evening until more restrictions are lifted. So this is special service today. On this day we celebrate the power of spiritual healing and how it is an essential part of the spiritual activities in this church and within the Spiritualist National Union throughout the world. More importantly, we celebrate the powerful presence of healing within our own lives every day. We rededicate ourselves today to the regular practice of using the power of thought to help others, ourselves and the whole world, which is in need of God's loving healing power, especially at this time. And now I'm going to invite Joel to come forward and to open our service in prayer.
Heavenly Father, Divine Parent, as we open this service in prayer, we ask Great Spirit for help, for healing to be sent to all those that are in need, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual or emotional. We ask that healing is sent to all those suffering from depression, trauma, anxiety, fear and grief, and for those transitioning home to the summerland. May we learn to respect from each other's differences and celebrate our individuality. May we learn to respect Mother Earth and the animal kingdom. If there's one thing, Great Spirit, that we can learn from this dreadful pandemic that we're going through at the moment, is that the pandemic knows no boundaries, it knows no borders, it has no divide, and it does not discriminate. We are as one. And we ask this, Great Father, in your name, which is love, light and truth. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Joel. Now I'm just going to introduce you to our healers this afternoon, and we have with us today Margret and Paul and Joel and Dorothy and Jennifer. They are all part of our healing team, not all of them, but they've all been using their healing energy throughout all of this pandemic. And now I'm going to invite Margret to come forward and to read our 7 principles.
The Belfast Spiritualist Church is affiliated to the Spiritualist National Union, which is the largest spiritualist organisation in the world, with over 300 affiliated churches. Spiritualism is a religion, a way of life and a science, which does not have a restrictive dogma and creed. The SNU and its affiliated churches have adopted the following 7 principles of spiritualism, which were given from the world of spirit through the mediumship of spiritualist pioneer Emma Hardinge Britton. The 7 principles: the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man, communion of spirits and the ministry of angels, the continuous existence of the human soul, personal responsibility, compensation and retribution hereafter for all the good and evil deeds done on earth, eternal progress open to every human soul. Spiritualism teaches personal responsibility, that man is a spiritual being here and now in a physical body. that death is not the end of life, but just a change of condition, that what man sows on earth he reaps in this life and in the life to come. A science, philosophy and religion of continuous life based on the demonstrated facts of communication.
Jennifer will come forward now with a special healing prayer by a very well-known healer, Harry Edwards.
The Harry Edwards prayer. May I be thankful for all the blessings I already have. Grant me relief from pain and sickness. Protect me from all ills and grant me good health in the days to come. Remove all causes of imperfection and bring your healing ministers close to me, that I may be conscious of their presence and so receive guidance and inspiration. Grant me courage and fortitude to overcome all adversity. Let me be conscious of your strength in all times of need. Grant me confidence to overcome my fears and not to anticipate harm. Amen.
Now, we're just going to take a little bit of time for healing. And, while I'm speaking, the healing music will play. So I'm now going to ask you to send your healing thoughts to those who you know are in need of healing, mental, emotional, physical and spiritual. Thinking especially of those who have made their transition and for their families, and knowing they are enclosed in the loving arms of God at this time. We ask also for wisdom and healing for the leaders of our world. So now, can I invite you all to join with me wherever you are, to be still within your own heart for a few minutes. we join together again, let us all remember this world we're living in with so much pain, and leave in the hands of God. Thank you all for that lovely healing energy. I'm now going to invite Paul to come forward and to read a poem.
Thank you, Pat. So this little poem is entitled The Enlightened Spirit. And for me, it basically speaks of the need to pursue spiritual enlightenment, especially in the dissolution of anger and the cultivation of forgiveness, which for me are very important aspects, especially in emotional healing, but also in people of power and influence in the world. If everyone was maybe a wee bit more sympathetic to others' needs, it might be a better place. So, it's called the Enlightened Spirit. When the road ahead is murky and your footing is unsure, seek the loving angel's guidance to make your being more secure. If people try to hurt you with words or deeds unkind, remember that their potency largely depends upon reaction within your mind. Their fear can be expressed as anger, as their inner feelings should. But ask Spirit to give you the strength to forgive if along this path you go. For forgiveness is a part of a healing elixir, which is to be sipped gently from Spirit's chalice. In forgiving others of their ways, you can remove the stings and the hooks of malice. And once the state of peace is achieved, just like a bird before the dawn, your spirit may start to sing once more from lofty heights upon. The surrounding mists will lighten, and your clarity will imbue those around you with a lightness in seeing God in you. So ask for spiritual guidance, seek knowledge, wisdom, and truth, and may many others choose to follow this example then set by you. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for that beautiful poem. Very meaningful and very, very worthy at this time of anger and fear in our world. So Dorothy is now going to come forward and she's going to speak to us in whatever way she is inspired.
So how lovely to be here to talk to you about God, the spirit realms, and the healing balm which they bring. And I'm sure in the weeks and months that have just passed, many of you have thought that life will never be the same again, and that it has been difficult and trying at times. I would reckon that many of you listening to this service have had some experience of that in a whole array of contexts. It may have been a time of wondering what's next. It may have been a time of testing for you when you felt pushed to the very limit. And given the changes you've experienced, they've come in probably just about every sphere of life. It may also have brought out a variety of feelings which caused you to wonder what provoked that reaction in me. Why did I do that or think that? I would suggest that as human beings, this is very much part of our human nature. It pretty much goes without saying that many have been worried, anxious, distraught, saddened and bereft, and at the same time we're trying to live in hope, trying to alleviate situations and offering lifelines to family, friends and others. But as many of you know, our relationship to God and to each other is interconnected, and our dual roles of having a physical and spiritual nature are indivisible. They're housed within a human body and therefore designed to produce an awareness of God which will inspire and encourage spiritual development and also concern for others. Simply put, our spiritual and physical beings are co-joined. It's the lessons that we learn and understand in not only being human, but also in being spiritual and in having that direct connection to God, which are the ones that we will remember and apply as we go through our lives. You know, Silver Birch explains when he says, everything that happens in your world affects your body of matter and in turn your body of spirit. And everything that affects your spiritual body reacts on your physical body. There's a constant interplay between the forces of mental, physical and spiritual life. And as we experience this deeper emotional relationship with God and Spirit, their wisdom enlightens us and we become more cognitive, more aware of how we are to live day to day and in serving others. You know, developing as a spiritual healer, or for those of you who just send out healing thoughts wherever you may be to the world, promotes a process of learning about the balance of life, about spiritual growth within the law of brotherhood, of giving and receiving, of offering support and comfort to all, recognising the needs of those who require assistance, irrespective of colour, creed, race, disability, gender or sexual orientation. I think that we all go through the rhetoric of positive and negative emotions, and yet as spiritualists we have an architectural plan, we have a blueprint for life, and I think as Margret read earlier, it was under the auspices of Emma Hardinge Britten that the 7 principles were brought through to us. And this plan or blueprint doesn't mean that we forget about being human, but rather we do very much remember about being human, but also we have that dimension of spirituality. And the blueprint allows us to think about those things that are in our life and how we maybe need to clear some of them and let go of all the baggage. Sometimes that's really quite difficult. And yet, if we use the principles, we're looking for a practical application for living today in the here and now, especially, I think, in relation to spiritual healing. Paul's beautiful poem encourages spiritual healing to be sought, to alleviate those feelings and emotions of fear, anger, confusion, or pain caused through emotional torment. It looks to healing through being at one with whatever situation you may find yourself in, and it encourages a calm, philosophical outlook towards one's physical life, which can greatly enhance your state of mind and soul. I think one thing to remember through all of this is that we are never alone. Spirit and God's angels also assist us in understanding that we survive physical death, and consequently, those who have died continue to coalesce with us. They have come forward to work and be with us. And it's my belief that we're not separate from God, and in so believing, we cannot be destroyed or severed from the Creator. Rather, those who have died return as spirit to assist us with experiencing a deeper emotional relationship with God and with one another. And one of the ways this can happen is through spiritual healing. As spiritual beings, we've all been given the gift of communicating with those in spirit and the higher realms. Many who do acknowledge spirit and who sit to unfold find with healing, or even just sitting, they find themselves opening up more to spirit's influence. However, I believe that the story doesn't end there, because there are those who do not believe in spirit. Yet you don't have to believe in spiritualism or in the spirit realms. But those who have come forward for healing often testify to the fact that something happened to them. Something was different. They may not have believed, but there was a power that presented itself and rested upon them. And they're surprised by what has taken place, how the effects of it and how they feel. And in time, I believe that they too are guided and directed, and through their subconscious minds find a greater or lesser degree in having their thoughts and actions influenced. All of this is part of the spiritual journey, and we're never left on our own. For there are those ministering angels who are highly evolved beings, and they come about us, and they awaken within us God's plan for our lives. In bringing many qualities to mankind, these ministering angels are recognised as giving assistance to humanity through the process of self-help and indeed through spiritual healing. We as human beings can have direct contact with them, and as they are inclusive and non-judgmental, they operate on the highest vibration of love. How then can we not be swept up in the beauty and divinity of all of this? It is my belief that many through spiritual healing have been touched by the power of God, and that it affects them all emotionally with affection and compassion in mind, body and soul. Humanity as a whole, therefore, is touched by the Spirit, because we have been sending out those healing thoughts each Thursday as we sit to send the healing to those in need. And we know that with it and with those in spirit, we intermingle, and as such, our spiritual world is touched. It's also touched because of God's promise, which is always to be present with us. And in doing so, and in giving us that promise, there is a connectivity to the great Creator's healing energy, which is freely given to and for all. You see, when we stand to work with a patient in healing, or when you sit in your quiet place and you send your thoughts out to an individual, to a group, to the plant and animal kingdoms, or to the world, it is the love from God which flows through each of us and you to those in need. This is what healing is about, and in being part of it, we are touched and touch others through it. In doing so, we are giving expression to the fact that our soul continues on its journey, and the work for God and Spirit is being done. In our connection with Spirit, we have begun that work, which I believe will continue on even when we're not here, but we've moved on to the spirit realms. Yet while we are here, our spiritual potential is given that opportunity to unfold, and those from Spirit who walk with us daily assist us in this task. Therefore, allow yourself to listen to the voice within, and the choices that you make and the desire to progress is freely there for everyone. All you've got to do is claim it and say, yes, this is mine. I believe that healing can make a big difference to our souls, to our spirit, and to our body, indeed to our daily lives. And God and those to whom He has ordained from the spirit realms step forward to heal those souls, to heal that mind, and to heal that body, demonstrating as they do so that there is a continuous existence of that human soul, and that they commune and minister to us. So while you're just listening, I want you once again to take a few moments. Just close your eyes and ask for that healing energy to rest upon you, and also for the healing to go to those who are in need anywhere in the world. Just take these few precious moments and just send your thoughts out, for thoughts are living things, and when you send them out, they go to wherever they're needed, and they touch those, and they touch your own soul, so that you become one, so that you are part of that divine creation, and that power which steps forth, and that power which brings forth that love, that wisdom, that knowledge, that grace which God alone can give. So allow yourselves to know that in doing this, you have become part of that spiritual body, part of that brotherhood of man, and that the great Spirit God oversees all of this. You see, my belief is that God and Spirit are not confined. And this is, after all, spiritualism and spiritual healing in action. Could I just say thank you for sharing this time with us, and may God bless you all. Let it be so.
Thank you, Dorothy, for those wonderful words of inspiration, which have certainly made me think. And I hope all of you out there who are listening can take on board all of her wonderful advice. And now, as our service draws to a close, we thank all those who have helped us be here together in this beautiful church, which reopens next week.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Shoulders, you raise me up to more than I can be. There is no life without its hunger. Each restless heart beats so imperfectly. But when you come and I am filled with wonder, sometimes I think I glimpse eternity. You raise me up, I can stand on my You raise me up to more than I can be.
If you want to come to our church next week, you have to tell us in advance because we have very restricted seating. Unfortunate times when you have to book a place to come to church, but let it be so. And now I'm going to ask Margret to come forward and to close this little service in prayer.
Divine Spirit, as we unite with each other in harmony, our hearts are filled with gratitude for the time we have spent together. We give thanks for your blessings and assistance. We feel touched by your love. We know that your love and grace guide us, and we ask you to continue to be with us in all that we do. We ask you to reach out with your healing energy to all those who are in need of your help and support in these troubled times. Those who are ill, or those who are grieving, those who are about to pass, and to those who are seeking answers. May your spirit and healing energy touch their hearts so they can feel your compassion and know that they are loved and not forgotten. We ask help for the animal kingdom, for our planet, and for the universe which surrounds us. May your love shine through and be felt in every corner of our world and beyond as we go forward on our life's journey. We ask all of this in your name, which is love, light, truth and healing. So be it.
Now we're going to play a piece of music chosen once again by one of our healers, Lynda. And I just want to say, as the service just closes, I just want to say thank you all for being here, for listening. And I do hope you have enjoyed our service and that you will come forward at some stage for our spiritual healing if you haven't already received it. Thank you. Amen.
I will follow him wherever he may go, and near him I always will be, for nothing can keep me away. He is my destiny. I will follow him. Since he touched my heart, I knew there isn't an ocean too deep, a mountain so high it can keep me away from his love. I love it, and where he goes I'll follow. I will follow him wherever he may go. There isn't an ocean too deep, a mountain so high it can keep me away. Get it. We'll follow him wherever he may go. There isn't an ocean too deep, a mountain so high it can keep us away from his love. Oh yeah, oh yes I love.